Yo guys, and welcome to another Dark Reign video. This time I'm going to be showing you the primal fight called Leviathan. Now this is an absolutely iconic primal from the Final Fantasy series. As you know, you get all the classics like Shiva, Ifrit, Ramu, Odin, Leviathan. There's also some others that I'll probably have to scrap later on down the line. So every time I come across one of these for the first time, it's a new experience, but I also get a bit nostalgic with it as well, because after playing through the old Final Fantasy series, these are sometimes the enemies you come up against, sometimes they're your allies as well. And when they're your allies, especially in Final Fantasy VII, they were summon spells, and they were absolutely outstanding. Really good fun to play with. Now classically, what I've done here is queue up on my white mage, got into this particular fight, and had no clue what was occurring. Now, one of the best things about this game is the community. It is by far the best community I've ever come across in any game. Everyone's so friendly and helpful. So when you start off this fight, because I've not done it before, I assume that everybody in the group receives a message saying there is a member of your group, or maybe more, that have never completed this duty before. And it's almost like when they get that, everybody sort of just gets the grip of what it is they're doing, and they do things perfectly. So all I really have to do is contribute to the DPS board where I can and do my actual job. On this occasion it was healing. So again, I'm not entirely sure of the mechanics in this game. I know that the ads have to die ASAP, that was something that they said, and that they were to concentrate fire on Leviathan's tail for some reason. So the two tanks separate, and one tanks the head, one tanks the tail, and the DPS, I think, draw focus onto the tail. And every now and then Leviathan will go away, and he'll slam the platform that you're sort of resting on, that's in the middle of the ocean. And when he does this, he tips it to one end and you all slide down it. I'm not really sure of the purpose to that particular mechanic. It doesn't seem to do anything. So you'll just basically slide down the platform and end up at one end. And whilst it's a treat for the eyes and it's dynamic and it gives a new change to typical fights, that's all it does, from what I can gather. Now Leviathan does have a one-shot mechanic. He will basically wipe out your entire raid group with a single attack. There's this thing in the centre of the room that I'm stood by now. Now, once he gets to a certain amount of health, or it's within a certain phase within the fight, he basically summons an almighty tidal wave that basically wipes you all out. It's like a swirling pool of death around all of you. But if you stand near this thing in the centre that I was by a moment ago, and which I mentioned, I'm not sure if anybody has to activate it, but I know that it does produce a shield like that. That's that shield, and that protects you from his one shot that he's just performed, where he's basically swallowed us in the ocean. The raft resurfaces, and we're all safe within it. We escape, and then we continue to DPS him. Now this was a really fun fight, and it's got some very different mechanics with it, which I enjoyed, especially in comparison to all the other ones that I've done so far. But I can't complain at a single primal fight I've done so far. They're all brilliant. I'm really enjoying them, to be honest. Once again, I'm probably over healing a little bit, but as you guys know, that's sort of what I do when I end up in a brand new instance and I'm not really sure of what's going on. I just do my best to keep everybody topped up and try not to interfere too much with the other healer. And I think because I don't particularly communicate with the other healer, so we don't like set up who's looking after the tank, who's looking after the group, and all of that jazz. Because they see me healing quite aggressively or borderline over healing, they tend to just DPS a little bit more and let me handle the heals. And it's basically so that they're not wasting MP trying to jump on a heal that they know that I'm going to jump on anyway, because they can see that I'm not really sure what's going on. I run around a lot, I cast a lot of heals, and I cross my bollocks and hope my team don't die. Leviathan is a great fight, guys, an absolute treat for the eyes. And be sure that when you queue up for these things for the first time to watch the cinematics, because they are interesting and they do add to the story. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We are Dark Rain, and as always, we'll see you in game.